When Stephen was a child, he was never into any boys stuff, football or anything. He stuck to me all the time.
What was that like for you though? Because I remember being clingy, but you obviously had 9 children. There was me, the 7 boys and Sonia.
I just had to manage. Make sure they get good education, they're well dressed, they're well fed. You just have to do it. Of course, my husband was very good with them as well. And he never in fights or anything.
That's because I couldn't fight. That's because you took me out of taekwondo so I could stay in the choir. It was one or the other. I went to taekwondo to learn to defend myself, and then you said you have to keep singing.
Even in the choir.
That's when I kind of realised the kind of people that were my people. It was a safe space. It was somewhere that I could be myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whereas I think in the wider school, I didn't always feel like I fitted in maybe.
You were always very independent. You were going to school, part-time job in Bewley's.
When I went to do the Leaving Cert, it didn't work out the way I wanted it the first time.
Exactly.
And Sister Angela stepped in and she helped get some sponsorship from the community and paid for me to go to Ashfield College. And I did better, but still wasn't enough to be a teacher. Then realised that accountancy and numbers were kind of what I wanted to do, and that's when I started studying then ACCA
That's right,
to go. And you know how hard that was, the amount of years it took for me to get through all those exams. But you always encouraged me to keep going.
You never gave up on what you want to do. And then you went to England for a weekend, came back and told me you were moving over there.
And I remember leaving the house in Tala. I was crying and you were like, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. I could see someone coming through down the stairs with my single bed, like taking it out of the room. It's like, I'm not even out the door and you're moving the bed out.
I don't remember.
Did I remember that? Then I made a big decision to move my life again and decided to move to Australia.
I thought that was too far away. I thought, well, that's it now. I've lost him now, he's gone. And they missed the first Christmas over there.
So that's when Darren, David and Ryan passed, obviously, yeah.
They were all gone to Tullamore Park for the kids. Sonia rang me to say, Mum, ring Darren or David's phone or Ryan, because I can't get them. I can hear sirens going everywhere. So I rang them and no answer. Sonia rang me and said, Mum, it's been an accident. The boys are dead. Vanguardi knocked at the door and told me. I couldn't believe it. I said, the 3 of them? She said, I'm very sorry, they were dead straight, killed outright. I had a heart attack the night the boys died.
I got that phone call. It felt like a million miles away. It felt like I was on another planet.
Exactly, yeah. You had seen it all over the news, and you were on your own travelling home.
Yeah, but I got home. We stuck together and we looked after the children, and I remember saying to you in the hospital, don't worry, I won't go back to Australia. 13 years on, I never did. And I'm so glad I didn't. Obviously I'm not glad for the reason that I came home, but I'm glad because the life that I have now, and of course we still miss them every day, but we move on and we just remember them. I think it became clear to me very quickly that we had a big journey ahead of us to kind of rebuild the family, and that was for me the motivation to finish the exams and to qualify and
do it.
Because I realised, I think, that to be supportive to you and Dad and to Darren and David's children, I need to get a job and I need to be earning money. And somebody just said to me, would you think about going into professional services? And they recommended EY because there was a finance transformation team being built there. But I knew it's a job that I could go in and do and then come home and kind of focus on what we needed to do as a family. I'm 8 years now this September at EY, and when I came last year to go for the elections to sit on the ACCA Global Council, the support from EY was brilliant. You get a job in EY based on your capability, based on your experience, your merits, and then you can be yourself. Lucky for me that I work in a place where I can be myself if I'm celebrated for who I am. And people actually genuinely care about, your story. And I came out to you and my family quite young. I think I was about 17.
Yeah. I told you then I was proud of you are my son and we'll always love you.
Did you ever think that we'd be sitting here in the house planning a wedding for October?
To be honest, but no, I didn't. When you came out, very different times back then. I'm delighted now that you are, that you met Colin, because he is a lovely fella.
Don't call him short. Don't say he's a wimp or he's short, okay? It's the 2 things you call him.
I just slag him terrible, but he slags me as well.
You do, you have a great relationship.
When he introduced me to Colin first, straight away I took to it. I am so proud of you because you're such a brilliant son, a brilliant man, brilliant partner for Colin. the way you've grown up from a child into a very confident young man.
Sometimes, yeah.
No, it's there for everybody. I mean, since the boys died, it's been a lifesaver for both our kids and for us. Like, so now you've done very
See, to me,
well.
that's just what family is. That's just what we do. We all, we stick together and we support each other through the good and the bad times.
We are a close family. They do anything for me, my kids, but I'm so proud of them all.